On today's episode of MotoCheez.
So what's up, guys? I got a carburetor sent to me for review, free of charge. It's a company called MaxpeedingRods. My disclaimer to them and to you is, if you send me something to review, I'm gonna go forward with 100% honesty. So whatever I see, you're gonna see. They agreed to that, so they sent me a carburetor for my CJ7. So let's do the opening. This is MaxpeedingRods. They have a lot of performance stuff too. Besides carburetors, I see they have shocks, different kind of performance springs, and other kinds of stuff. Check them out. As you can see, it's definitely more than just carburetors. I have a Weber carburetor on there right now. It runs okay, the choke never sets right. This is a stock carburetor for a little older year of my CJ7, because the carburetor that's supposed to be on that CJ7 in '82 was electronically controlled, and they were just riddled with trouble, so everybody got rid of them. So this is an older carburetor off the prior version of CJ7s where they didn't have all that electronic stuff on it. So that's what I'm going to put on here, but pretty good quality. You know, the finishing's nice. Electric choke with a vacuum pull-off. It has the idle up adjustment, which for all you younger guys or gals, when the choke is on, that's the high idle screw. So then when you hit the gas and it opens the choke, it keeps dropping the idle down little by little. So then when that's off that cam, then that's the regular idle. This, on some of the pollution cars, they used to put a little tiny diaphragm, so when you hit the gas and let off, it would go vroom and go real slow pulling in. This is instant. This is a constant vacuum port because it's underneath the throttle plate. This looks like, all of these here look like, yeah, these are all constant vacuum. And then, and it looks like that might be vacuum that works as you open the throttle. Huh, what's this? I don't know what that is. I do not know what that is, but I bet you it was on a stock carburetor. Looks pretty good. I can hear the float. That is probably a vent for the fuel bowl. Oh, this vacuum pull-off is so when you start it and the choke is on like it is, it pulls that vacuum. Depending on how much vacuum it gets. So that's basic carburetor functions on the older style all the way till about 81 or 82. Then they started adding electronics to meter the fuel that went in, and electronic ignition, and they were tied together for vacuum advances. And then of course throttle body, fuel injection, which they put the injectors in the throttle body, and then they put multi-port electronic fuel injection where they put it in each intake close to the intake. Now they have direct injection on most of these cars. Like I said, mine has a Weber on it right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do, because when they put a Weber on, there is a conversion. They put little plates and all that. This does come with 2 gaskets. Now I don't know, they have adapter plates that make that Weber fit. Now this has 2 primaries, which means when you open it up, both butterflies go at once. On the Weber, it has a primary and a secondary. I'll show you that when I take it off. Where when you open it up, the primary opens first, and then when you hit a certain point, there's a lever that pushes and starts opening the secondary up. Which is better? The Weber style is supposed to be actually better for fuel. Guess it's time to bring the CJ in. I don't really want to take the plow off yet, because if I do, it'll snow. You know how that goes, right? Don't want to forget this. And of course, links to these guys will be down below in the description, as always. And then I'll also have a link on MotoCheez.com. If you can't find the video after I did it, and you say, I know I saw that video, just go to MotoCheez.com, look in the CJ7 section, and I'll have all the information and links there too.
Soon after.
Fixed my glasses, put another battery. Apparently that was it. I thought it was the plug, but it's the battery. This is what I get with a Weber carburetor when it sits. I can pump the hell out of it. It's been about maybe a month. evaporates. See? It's like the bowl empties out. It took a little bit to tune this Weber carburetor to this. This has the 4.2 liter straight 6. Doesn't burn any oil. The motor's pretty strong. Hope there's no mice in here. May have to get some parts. I'm definitely gonna have to get an air filter, air cleaner, some sort. Must have been a mud wasp, eh? I'm gonna have to either flare a piece of something or try to find that fitting to be able to put this back on. The electric choke wire. Constant vacuum goes to the booster and PCV valve. I guess I don't have to worry about the automatic transmission kickdown. This is literally so old. It's not a cable, it's a rod that goes back to the transmission for the kickdown. Alrighty then, guess we're ready to take that off. Alright, she's off. The old Weber. Okay. I wonder why that leaks like that. Take those adapter plates off. Looks like Allen wrenches. I like to put stuff in the hole so I don't drop anything in there.
That's what she said.
Makes it kind of difficult. This adapter plate goes down in pretty good. So you got to be very, very careful. May have to cut some threaded rod, make studs.
Took the restrictor plate off, give the Red Dragon a little more juice. But let's keep that on the down low. It's not exactly street legal.
So this is gonna sit like that. So I guess before I do all that, I should really compare the Weber to this. Got a few comments on using old pots from the kitchen. So now, as I was saying before, this has a very small primary and a large secondary on this Weber. I'll have to look up what size Weber they ended up putting on this, but it looks like it's the smaller one. Now, this carburetor, they're both primaries because they move once. There is no secondaries. Now, since this is a larger 4.2 straight 6 than say a 4-cylinder, that little primary, it may be better on gas. I think it's a little bit too small for this 6-cylinder. 4-cylinder, yeah, because sometimes when you're driving down a road, I'd have to actually get into the secondary to feel like I'm doing anything. You could tell when you were opening them secondaries up too. I had to take this apart and rejet a few times to get it right, and it still was never perfect. I'm hoping this is. I'm going to count the turns on the mixture screws here. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, and a quarter. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, and a quarter. Half, 1, 1.5, not even 2. Let's start at, usually it's 1.5. Let's start at 2 though. Half, 1, 1.5, 2. We'll shut this a quarter. They'll both be open 2. Why is it giving me 2 different gaskets here? I could see it so this makes a constant vacuum here, but which is better? Or am I missing a plate? Did they just take these from here? I don't think so. Definitely not. Definitely not the same thread. So I gotta get 4 studs. Probably the same length as these. I think I have threaded rod. Look at that. Oh, that's it, baby. So we're going to cut 4 threaded rod this length. We're going to cut 1 threaded rod that length first. Guess I got to go find a couple nuts Make sure this is the right length. Maybe. Looks like that's gonna work. Looks like this rod is way long. I have to do something with that. Gotta move my hydraulic line down a little bit. Looks like a good height, right? Probably could do a hair shorter, but I think that's a good height. 3 more of these. And I'm going to double nut and tighten them down just a little bit so it don't come out if I ever want to take them nuts off again. Little chamfer. Do all this now, you'll thank yourself later. We'll drop them in there. Looks like this has one of them old heater plates. I forgot what they call them. Atomizing plate. It was like an electronic block that would heat the gas up to help it atomize, which I don't think actually worked very well. All it does is kind of turbulate. I bet you they make a flat plate that takes that out so it doesn't turbulate and pool fuel. Matter of fact, that might be another thing I'm going to look into. I think I decided to go with this one, right? 4 nuts. I have 1 grade 8, boys. Double nut it. Snug it. I'm so nervous dropping something in there. Of course, that's got that little diffuser in there. Probably hit that, bounce, go right in. One of my valves are open on the head and go right in. Land on top of that piston. Better safe than sorry. Got him. I'm going to grease this up a little bit. Why, you ask? Well, makes it seal a little better. Then if I ever have to take it back off, it comes right off. It doesn't rip. A little cheesy hack. I can't take full credit for that though. Although no one told me to do it. I come up with it myself. I've been doing it for years. Ow. Now that's out of the way. Kinda. This is vacuum advance. See, looks like the original carburetor, huh? Gotta use the old double wrench on her. You guys know that trick. Yeah, they had wrenches that were bent at a 90-degree angle. Would probably be something they can get in here with. I don't have any. Positive crank vent, also known as the PCV valve. And that's gonna go there. Electric choke, gonna go there. Vacuum advance here, and then maybe get something to do my fuel here. So I shortened the thread as much as I could, but it needs to be down here. Big company, got 5 different warehouses across the United States to ship from. First I thought this was like a turnbuckle. Off to the auto parts.
A few moments later.
We're back from the parts store. Got 2 different fittings. Let's hope one of them works. But as I said before, you can see inside that fitting it's a compression style, not a tapered. Compression style fitting, so we don't need any tape on that. This should fit. Yay! That's a little big. I know. Looks kind of small, right? I guess that's how it's held off. What are you doing? You better not be coming down here to poop in a box somewhere. Oh, actually, fits pretty good. Well, I got lucky picking this stuff out, didn't I? What was this? Alright. All I need is a little wing nut now. I made a little boo-boo. When I adjusted my shaft, I did it with the choke kickdown switch on. And that little vacuum piece there. Did I mention? Make sure the throttle operates freely and doesn't hang up on anything. Maybe not, but I am now. This is an 83. This carburetor was an electronically controlled carburetor, which isn't anymore. As I said earlier, they were plagued with problems. I'm putting an earlier year non-electronic controlled carburetor on. Yeah, that'll work. That's for the regular idle. That's inner one is for the fast idle when the choke is on. Those two, there's one there, right there. Those are the idle mixture screws. Fire extinguisher fully charged. Don't laugh. Good to be prepared. What do you think, boys? Think it's gonna work? Let's see. Wow, that's never run that good. And I'm not lying. Holy cow. I'm talking throttle response. Even when it's cold, the thing never had that type of response. Maybe drop the idle maybe a little bit. Wait for it to get up to operating temperature, and then we'll try to do the mixture. Sounds awesome. Sounds really, really good. My neuralizer. You get a wing nut. Exhaust smells a tad rich. Time for a test drive, boys. Need a little wax. This can go wait till next year. Hope Mother Nature doesn't throw us a curveball. Wow. Jeez, I think my assumption was correct on the torque part. The throttle response is so much better. Like I got to learn to drive all over again. Idles out nice and smooth. Whoa! Whoa, Nelly! Almost got away from me. I didn't even hardly hit the gas. To drive with that Weber carburetor before, up this hill, you definitely would have to get into the secondary. Like right now, that's 3/4. Just to lope up the hill with that old Weber carburetor, it was, I mean, you had to go like half throttle. This I'm quarter throttle, not even, because it's open in two 36mm diameter holes. Oh, we're driving in China now, are we? Yeah, I'm not lying when I say the torque on this thing is way better. It's way better. Is it going to use more gas? I'd say probably. If anything, it's probably not going to be noticeable. Yeah, I'm floored. Remember, to do 55, you really had to push this thing into the secondaries. Sorry for saying wow so much. I didn't expect it to be this big of a difference, honestly. Much more pleasurable to drive now. I mean, it's still an old car. 2 cheesy thumbs up. One other major thing that can make this carburetor way better than the other one is starting after it sits for like a week. That other carburetor, man, you had to pump the hell out of it. It's almost like it kept leaking gas out of it. Sounds like the idle's a hair high because it's warmed up now totally. Smells a little rich. See if we can fix that. I'm gonna have to cut that vacuum thing short because it's touching. Smells a lot better. Gonna buzz this off a little shorter. Yep, that did it. Let's see if I flooded it. A little low, 800 to 1,000 with an automatic. That's about good. We're done. If you're looking for a good carburetor, other than a Weber, replace on your electronic style 4.2 liter, that is the carburetor. And it's pretty inexpensive too. All the links are below. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw their little commercial in at the end. I'm so satisfied with how this thing runs. Thanks for watching, guys.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell if you want new notifications on new videos. Links for products used are in the description and on MotoCheez.com. Thanks for watching.